Well, hello out there in YouTube land. It is I, Kim, or Kimberly, Crafty Teacher DIYs, coming at you with Season 2, Episode 5. I think technically this is 2 years since I started my YouTube channel, even though I took what felt like a year off. Maybe a little bit more than a year. But yeah, so today is July 4th, 2023, and I think I started my channel July 4th, 2021. So like I said, I started calling it season 2 episodes, whatever, when I came back to, and I decided to do it rather monthly rather than trying to do it weekly or bi-weekly. Monthly just seems to give me a little bit of time to get some major progress. Not that I'd stitch slow, but I usually have some larger projects. So yeah, it allows me to get some time done. My area is a bit of a mess right now, so um don't go crazy. I have there's a project that I have in mind that I have not gotten a chance to really sit down and do, mostly because it requires moving a lot of that stuff to get to my sewing machine. Um and I haven't quite decided how I want to um, quilt it. But eventually, I'm hoping to make myself a project roll because the cat's been kind of a menace. Opal has been a little bit of a pest. She'll jump from like here, her tree is right here, to this in the middle. Like there's a yarn ball that she got out while I was away for a week, and they did not like me being gone. Granted, probably the storms coming through didn't help. Um, but they were a little bit rambunctious. For those of you who are new here, this is a channel mostly about cross stitch, a little bit about knitting. My knitting project I did take with me that last week in June. It's right there, in a bag, 2 a.m. Designs bag that knitting nurse Jasmine kind of put us on to her Etsy page. But I didn't have enough progress that I really wanted to show, and I kind of had to take back a row because I'm a little bit um being a little OCD about that. But there's not enough progress that you really would have seen that there's that it's grown much. So I haven't been knitting that much. So let's see. Channel about cross stitch, sometimes about knitting, sometimes about the other crafts. Obviously you can tell that I do so. Sometimes. But I do have a whole bunch of those project tubes. So if it works out, I might make a couple for some friends. But that's it's down the way. We're not there yet. So June's been hard. I'm really upset that it's July because I go back July 31st to school, which is kind of a downer. So I think with that looming over my head and all the other things that have been kind of going on in I'm just I'm sad, so it's bringing me down, which does not help with my procrastination because all I want to do is put things off and put things off. And there are some things that I really should not be putting off that I have been putting off, and it's become a thing. So it's a problem right now. It's a really bad problem. So I'm hoping that I just gotta get up each day and do one thing. And that's my goal right now. So today's goal was to get up, not play Coral Island all day. Thank you, Jesse. And film this. And when I'm done, when I'm done filming this, then I hope to do one other thing. So, um, first things first. For those of you who are coming back, thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Love you. But for those of you who are new, I appreciate you checking me out, and I hope you like what you see. I'm gonna try to do this. This is the second time I'm doing this, filming this, because the first time I was all over the place. So nobody wants me to be all over the place again. So if you see me looking over here, I'm looking at my whips. And to get the That is not Modern Folk. Okay. Sorry. We had a snafu that I don't know how that happened. Okay, anyway. So, first things first. I've had this for a long time. But I just had never done anything. This is a finish from the Stiachalong, and I FFO'd it. Yay! I did it. So I'll kind of go over the specs again for this. So this is Stiachalong 8 by Stiach. I'm Sips and Stitches, part of the group Sips and Stitches. I stitched this on a 32 count Belfast called After the Harvest by Be Stitch Me. I did a conversion into mostly Be Stitch Me silks. Could I tell you what that is right now? Probably, but that's on a different page in my sheet. I'm not going to go over that one. I started it October 14th of 2022 and I finished it December 4th of 2022. I FFO'd it. When did I FFO this? Friday before I left? I don't remember when I finished it, fully finished it, but I'm not super happy about it because like it really cuts it off. This is just a 5x7 frame that I got at Michael's. If you want to, there's the information if you want to see it. But it's just a black frame. I might see about maybe getting something a little bit larger, but I've had the frame for a while. I just never got around to fully finishing it. So, if at first you don't succeed, try doing it the way your teacher told you. Like, let's be real. So, um, that was my first fully finished object. Then I this is both a finish and a fully finished. So I started with that one because I had finished that one prior. But this one is Move Forward by Jacob of Modern Folk Embroidery. With Imogen X Stitches, move forward in love, which it came from, I forget who she got it from, but it's by Modern Folk Embroidery. This is by the fabric is Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. And it's a Newcastle, so 40 count Newcastle, and it's called April Showers Bring May Flowers. And I think this was the April fabric of the month last April, so 2022. I think this is when I first got in here. I did a Be Stitch Me conversion, so all of these are Be Stitch Me silks with the exception of the white and the black. The white and the black are almond M&Ms because I didn't have bone or cauldron at that time from Be Stitch Me. But this was stitched 1/2, and my Stiachalong was stitched 2/2. So I'm super happy. I also added 4-sided stitch in the around the letters in a color called All the Colors by Be Stitch Me because you really could not see that white when it said forward at all. So I have another fully finished object, which is super exciting. I liked it. I started this at StitchCon in 2022. So that was June 17th of 2022, and I finished it June 10th of 2023 when I would have been back at StitchCon. If had I not canceled. But I canceled, so no more StitchCon for me. So yay! I had 2 fully finished objects. Can't wait to put them in my room. That's my goal. So yeah, just I finally got off. I got off my rear end and I did it. So let's see. Will I be able to get not a glare on my fully finishes? Probably not. But anyway. So yeah, those were exciting finish. This was also a frame from Michael's, and apparently Michelle got like the same frame for one of her finishes. So what I do when I fully finish those in there is I use the comic board, and I just cut it to size. With the exception of this one had like a gigantic mat like all the way around. I just laced it over that and I stuck that in there. So there was that as well. This one has been finished, but I finally put the buttons on, And this one is called Button Your Lip by Silver Creek Samplers. I got these buttons at these two up here from StitchCon, um, Sheba Designs, I believe. And the most of these other buttons came from my grandma's collection of buttons. So I do have a jar of buttons. I need to finish this on like and kind of tie it around um, so that I can do that. But I thought I'd show it to you because I put the buttons on and I hadn't done that before. Okay, so that was one finish. I had 3 finishes in June. And that was probably the biggest finish was the move forward, but um I don't stitch small and the rest of my projects are not small. With the exception of the 2 that I just started, those are smaller. So then the next thing that I finished, and if you remember my whip parade from February, um, this I should have finished a long time ago, but I got frustrated. So this is Mrs. Claus along with Santa Claus. Both of these are from Autumn Lane Stitchery. This is done on a 36 count Edinburgh, so a linen, in the color Wisteria. It is an opalescent. And this is from Mystic Fabrics. I stitched this 2/2 on the opalescent. I did mostly a conversion to be Stitch Me, but there's some called for DMCs. I started Mrs. Claus on January 6th, and I finished her on June 24th. She frustrated the living daylights out of me. I had to do this part, like her apron and her blouse, like 3 different times because I kept misstitching on it. So, the frogging that had to go on with this is outrageous. I think that's what frustrated me back in January when I started her because it didn't take me that long to do Santa Claus. It took me like 6 days to do him. So it shouldn't have taken me that long to do her. But like I said, I think the frogging just kind of was like, nah. And then I was done with that. So, but I finally did finish them. So, I think I either want to do like kind of like a door hanger or kind of thing with this. But so that was finish number 2 in June, and finish number 3 in June is Quirky Quaker Butterfly from Deanna at Darling and Whimsy Designs. I started this one May 6th and I finished this June 25th. Again, no reason for me to take that long to finish them, but that's just the way it was. What had happened was, you see, what had happened was I had gotten this silk, and it's called Venus Flytrap from Be Stitch Me. I had gotten this silk in the box, the Info Bloom box, right before like I left for Stitch North, and I was like, I got to do something with this. And sorry, it was the dog, and I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what to do with it, so then I asked Deanna which Quirky Quaker would go with it, and they said butterfly. So I was like, okay, butterfly. And then I just threw in this blue, even though you can't really see it when you look at it. So I'm super excited I get to put these away. But I did this on a 32 count from Brin and Needle called Midnight on the Bay. And it's a dark blue. And what is funny is I did not realize how much this ended up turning out to look like my forest flower from my Ink Circles Round Robin until like I saw Trina working on it at Stitch North. But the colors are a lot brighter than what you're seeing on this. And you can see I used something that that's new to me. But, so yeah, there's my Quirky Quaker Butterfly. I don't know the name. Deanna, help me out. So that was my 3rd finish in June. So again, it shouldn't have taken me as long as it did to finish them, but it is what it is. So I got to cut out those fabrics and put those away. I do have a few other finishes, Quirky Quaker finishes in this one. This is where the butterfly is going to go. And I think I might cut them and then make them into like a quilted like project bag. When, I don't know, same time I probably do that project roll. That's just the way it's going to go. So it's time for What's in the Bag. Okay. So I have 3 projects here for my what's in the bag segment. Um, this first one comes from a Black Needle Society box. I don't typically buy from them anymore. I did do like a full year subscription to all of their boxes one year. And um, with the continuation of their use of HP and a few other things, I don't support them anymore. But I do like these projects, so I'm probably going to end up stitching them. We'll see. So this is my nice list, and this is by Jordan Nicole. This is Little Stitch Girl, and it's super cute because it says "You're always on my nice list" with Mr. and Mrs. Claus beneath the mistletoe. So that's pretty cute, and it did come kitted up because this was the nice list box of 2021, I think. So it has, I think, the called for fabric, which is Whisper Lugana by Zweigart, and then the Sullivans and Classic Colorworks colors. So that came fully kitted. You'd figure that this was the second time that I recorded this today because I was trying to be more concise, that I would have remembered to grab the fabric for this, but I didn't. So you're just going to have to imagine on this next one. The bag is just what it came in. Essentially, they came in like a lot of different pieces, but this bag I think is what had the fabric in it, so I just kept it and I used it as the bag. I need to make some slightly smaller bags. This next project is one that I've wanted to start for a while, which is why it's on its handy clamp already. And this is by Bella Filipina, and this is Holly Berry Fairy, or Holly Berry Pixie. I really want to do this one. I even have the called for Cocoa Rose Opalescent, so it's going to look like this pretty much almost exactly. So the fabric's here, it's over there. The DMCs are all ready to go. At least I think they are. If not, we'll find out. And then about the only thing I don't have is like the beads or whatever yet. So, but that's like low on my list of things that I need to get done because I haven't even started on the thing. But I did want to get it started pretty soon. That one was pretty cute. And no, pink is not my favorite color. I have a lot of things with pink on it. This next one is in a bag that I made. This is one of the first forays into project bag making that I did. And it's big. But this is Happy Halloween from Autumn Lane Stitchery. This is from Just Cross Stitch Halloween magazine. You can see it was the tree, and then there's an owl here. He's super cute. I have all of the flosses in here, and everything's going to be called for. This is even on 32 count Murky from Picture This Plus. Yeah, I know. I just have Murky sitting in a bag. What am I thinking? But that's just the way it is. I haven't gotten a chance to get into this one yet. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it's a solid full coverage. So, it's a little full coverage piece there. So I haven't gotten a chance to get into that yet. So my bag, in case you didn't see there, it had like spider webs on the inside. So there are the 3 what's in the bags for you for this month. So, oh, I forgot to tell you what I started. I started 2 projects. The first one I had wanted to start it a long time ago on Juneteenth of last year, but I never got around to it, along with Rosina Distry, which I also need to get started on her too. But this is this Juneteenth Day by Shaded Stitchery. Nuri does an amazing job. Cannot recommend this enough. But I started this on June 19th of this year. And this is stitched on a 36 count Edinburgh in the colorway Macchiato, and it's also done by Be Stitch Me. The margins are a little bit narrow on this one, mostly because I think I slightly miscounted on the other one, and you'll see that in a second. But I'm stitching this 1/2. So I got all of the top border done, which is I think like 11 and 99/100%. So it's getting there. You can see where I tried my little sample stitching to see how I wanted to do it. So if this one turns out a little bit more prim than what I'm used to, that's just the way it's going to be. So this is again a 36 count um, Edinburgh, so a linen from Be Stitch Me, and I'm just doing this in the called for and DMCs, and it's nice because I just sit right here and I can pull right from there. So I don't keep the DMCs in this bag. I pull and then I put it right back. So again, this one is this Juneteenth sample. This Juneteenth day by Shaded Stitchery. So I started that one on June 19th, and then the next day, I started the Freedom Motif Sampler, also from Shaded Stitchery. This one's a little bit smaller, and I didn't realize how much smaller. But I could have given myself a little bit more border on that one, because this is just about as wide as this is going to be. So I have like ginormous margins on this one. But I am doing this one also 1/2 on 36 count Edinburgh by Bestitch Me in the colorway macchiato. Because when you looked at both of them on the pictures, I thought that they would look both great on this fabric. So I'm super excited about it. I started this one the January or June 20th, so the day after. I do plan on pulling and kind of sitting and working on this one today. So kind of any American holiday where people are more stitching on patriotic, I might pull out some of these. I might pull out the Freedom Motif Sampler this Juneteenth day and work on them. So these two are currently my smallest pieces that I've got going. This one is actually like close to 15 or 15ish% done when I got that done. So it stitched up relatively quickly. I'm using the DMC, but I'm also doing like a slight conversion because I did not have the called for Classic Colorworks or I did not have the Classic Colorworks or the Gentle Arts almond one. So I use Sadness and Sorrow for this side. This is done. I don't have this one anymore. Sadness and Sorrow I'm completely finished with. I have not used almond yet. Obviously, you can still see it's still skeined up, but I'm also using that one for Be Stitch Me. For the other side of the like waterfall, I'm using this Stitchy Box Flower Silk and the colorway Periwinkle. And then instead of espresso bean, I was looking for a variegated, but you can't really see it. This is Witching Hour by Gentle Arts. It reminds me of 3371 that this one's done in, but just a little bit darker. Um, so we'll see once I get down into like maybe the birds a little bit more if you'll see some of the variegation because it does go from like a dark brown to like almost like a black, kind of a purple brown, like I don't know. But those are the colors that I converted to. And they go in the bag that used to have my Move Forward in Love, but this is a bag from Big Stitch Bags, Ashley. I love her little bags. I call this the Be Happy bag. But she does a really good job and she throws in lovely extras and things sometimes. So, like for instance, like this little thread bed. So, this needle has white on it, I think. I don't know what from. It must have been from Move Forward, I think. um but yeah, those are my two starts. I want to sit down and get another good day's progress on the Freedom Motif Sampler today. And then, while I'm trying to keep my dogs from going crazy with the fireworks, um, I'll probably work on that and watch some Floss Tube. And then tomorrow, I'll work on this Juneteenth day and try to get a good day's progress on that one as well. So, those are my two new starts. And hopefully Nuri continues on with her thing. I might just end up buying the I can picture it in my head, but I can't remember the title. It's with all the different samplers or the different takes on Black history with imagery that was at the World's Fair. And I'm drawing a complete blank right now. Okay. So let's talk Happy Meal because I actually got some Happy Meal. I am a part of Deanna Darling and Whimsy's Patreon, and I loved her little note that I got from her. In her, okay, I was hiding the address on that. But we got her business card. So, and apparently you can use this as as like a 2x2 corner gauge for starting your projects. She gave us a copy of her sticker of her most recent Quirky Quaker, and we got some of her floss drops, some more floss drops. So the owl and the frog. So I have more Deanna floss drops. I'm super excited about that. Okay, so that was Deanna Happy Mail. At the end of June, I went to an ASM camp, and it was a residential camp, so I stayed like on campus at the University of Illinois. So I didn't really get a chance to spend too much time with Jasmine because I was going from like 8 in the morning till 5 at night, and then Jasmine like was working or streaming and doing that kind of stuff. So we didn't really get a chance to hang out too much. I did get to see Amaretto in person, and that cat is a lot bigger than I anticipated. But she was sitting in the window. I don't have a picture up, but I did get to see Jasmine and picked up. So that's why I'm calling this Happy Meal because it's like a kitted project that I just need to stitch on. So this is Martine's ink circles, and they picked out Entwined. So I'm gonna have to sit down and do that. So here are the flosses. I think they did everything called for. And then an Ada. So I'm kind of excited to get started on that. It's a nice little project. It might go with me to Laughlin. And hopefully maybe I can get that done like kind of on that trip. With my we'll talk about that one in a second. I also am not going to show this part because I don't have like an image of it, but I have a model stitch for Michelle that arrived. So that one's coming. And then my other Happy Mail comes from Jessie from Mislaid Pages. They did a stream on Twitch kind of for Pride the other 2 weeks ago. I don't remember what date it was, but one of the things that they did was they did like 5 giveaways, and one of the giveaways was the Tiny Modernists Words to Live By, and they gave all of them. So I was like super excited because I got all of them. When am I gonna stitch it? No idea. But guess what? I have all of them. So whether or not I'm gonna do this as one gigantic piece or individual pieces, I don't know yet. We'll see. And then they also sent Rainforest, a Dinky Dies called Rainforest, which is pretty cool. So, and a lovely note. Thank you, Jessie. Love you. I love all the people that I've met on here. You're just the best and so supportive. Okay, now haul. Okay, one of the biggest pieces of haul that I got, and I'm so crazy excited about it, was this beautiful bag from Genevieve from Jasmine Custom Bags. And I ordered this off of Instagram from her. What had ended up happening, you see, what had happened was, I had seen somebody make a project bag with this peacock fabric, and I was like, holy heck! Now, could I have asked for purple? Probably, but honestly, blue is one of my favorite colors, and especially like this blue and teal and the royal blue is amazing. So inside, and the green is in the inside, so this is like just my bag. This is the bag that is completely up my alley. Love it entirely. It's great. It's huge. It's already been on a trip. So, it fits like everything. Like you can like sneak a small dog onto an airplane in this thing. I don't recommend. I haven't tried it. So, that was my big splurge, and part of the reason why I'm like not really wanting. See, Jessie is trying to enable me here because she's like, well, Punk Rock Unicorns Advent is really only this much, and I'm like, the cruise goes on sale on Saturday. Not that I want to remind anybody of it, but Megan, come on, girl. Um, so don't forget. But I'm gonna be up like at the butt crack, making sure I get my own reservation in on that one. So knowing that that's coming, I'm really trying to curtail my purchases. So, but there was a few things that I wanted to do, and I got this chart because it was one of that I really wanted, mostly because I really like the saying. So this is "Away We Ride" by Blackbird Designs, and it says, "Away we ride till it's dark, till it's darkest pitch to find the home of the Wicked Witch." So I really like that, and I like that saying, and I like that image. So I wanted to purchase this. So this is came off 123 Stitch, but really the reason that I was purchasing this is these. Okay. I normally stitch an 11 by 11 Q snap, but when I sit in my chair over there, my belly gets in the way. So I'm trying to do an 8 by 11 Q snap and see if that like saves it, because it's been driving me crazy. I wanted to try a nerd hoop, and I figured I'd go small because I want to do some trying tiny stitching, and I do have some trying tiny stitching projects that I can use, or some tiny stitching projects. So I got this, but then I also got like a package that came with um like a 3.5 inch hoop, a 5 inch hoop. I ended up purchasing a second 5 inch hoop. I don't know how that happened. And then this is a 7 inch like spring tension embroidery hoop. And I think this thing is like a 2 inch hoop or something crazy. So again, this is Nati and Kaylee of Kaylee Cross Stitch, and they're trying tiny stitching. So that was a purchase. Then Deanna came out with her new designs, her new Quirky Quaker designs, and then she put on Etsy like a pack of like where you could get not only hard copies of her design, but also the cottage garden samplings, cottage garden threads, to go with them. So we also got another crab sticker. So I now have 2 crab stickers. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. So we have the jellyfish. I don't remember what their names are, but so I have that I can stitch. And we have the Quirky Quaker crab, which is this one. I think she called him Carl, but I don't remember. And then we have the Quirky Quaker octopus. I think they said that one of these isn't quite the right color, but I kind of don't care. I'm probably going to stitch it on Midnight on the Bay because these 3 will go good with that one, and then I can totally put them in my project bag that I'm never going to make. I'll make it eventually. All right. So notice eventually. Okay, we'll go in order. This is the last one that came. So normally first every month comes Jessie's Dinky Dyes Silk of the Month Club. And then this month we have Mint Ice, which is like got like a slight greenish tint to it. We have Mint, which is even lighter than the Mint Ice. We have Midnight Rendezvous, which is purple and blue. It does not look like that. And then we have Mianjanu. I don't know. You tell me. What does that say? But anyway, it's like reds and like cranberry, which is pretty cool. What I'm gonna use them for, I got no idea. But hey, guess what? I got. Um. So yeah, those are my Dinky Dyes Silk of the Month. Also from my fabric of the month is Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. Do you see what I see? And it's this beautiful. I kind of wish that I had this in 30 count or 32 count, so I could have put a fancy lady on it because it's beautiful. Pardon my sneeze. But it's a really pretty color. It's got like hints of green, like your sea colors, but it's not. Not it's mostly blue. A great blue. All right. And then for my last one that I get is the Dinky Dye, or not the Dinky Dyes, the Be Stitch Me. I get both the Silk of the Month and the Fabric of the Month. So this is the Silk of the Month. Um, this is a purple. I know it's not going to show up purple, but that's a purple. So Sagittarius, Blue Jay, Poison Ivy, Bumble, and Carnelian. And that's like an orange. That is like so. If you need move forward in love colors, here you go. These are not the colors that I use though. And then the fabric that came this month is called Summer Sunrise. And this reminds me of like one of those push pops, or that's not a great representation. It's a lot more orange than that. Um, but it's super pretty. It's a great, like pretty, what did I call it before? Um, can't remember what I called it before. But it's a really pretty color. And that's everything. Oh, I lied. There's a couple, there's like, I did get the Pride bundle from the Stitchers Collective. I did purchase that. And I have not stitched anything from it though. But sometimes I forget that I have a whole bunch of PDFs and I just got to remember to do them. But there was one other thing that I did get that I showed this to him and he was like, "Okay, that's cool." Um but he's going to have to wait because I've already got like one major project that I'm working on. But it's this project. This project is called what does it say? Keyblades to the Kingdom. And this is the Kingdom of Hearts um like video game. And this is going to be for my roommate eventually when I finish the Pixels That Made Us, which I have my setup. It'll start going. I just have a few other things that I was working on. So, that'll probably the Pixels That Made Us is probably going to be one that I do want to try to finish this year. I was just kind of looking at my other whips that I've got going. So, Pixels That Made Us, Twisted Rainbow Sampler, I might want to restart. Holiday Quaker, um, I might try to finish that one this year, but I don't know. Which way? That's never gonna get finished in this and like probably in my lifetime. Moonlight Sampler, I really need to get to work on that one. Winter White Santa, Castles in the Air, and then my Dark Queens. I really need to talk to Heike about getting her conversion or her version of the Dark Queen face because I really liked what Heike did. Um, Earth and Seas, Litter Dreamer 2, not getting done anytime soon. Falling Snow, I got to decide about, and then my this Juneteenth. So I currently have 13 official whips, 14 if you include my forest flower that's still like out there roaming around. But there you have it. That was June, folks. I'm really sad because July 31st I go back to school already. So I'm really sad. The summer is going by too fast. It's gone by way too fast. So, we'll see. I might be going in that week before, um, but I'm not 100% sure yet. Because there's a lot that I need to do in that lab still before I really get going with the class. The dogs and cats are a menace, especially with the fireworks and the storms going on right now. So, well, the storms aren't going on right now, but the storms last week, they went haywire. I'm hoping that this trip to Laughlin next week, I can get this just like yay chopped. That's my goal. So you might see quite a few new things when I come back. I don't know yet. We're still determining. Probably not a lot of purchases other than like my silk of the month and my fabric of the month. Because like I said, the biggest thing that I want to make sure that I do is go on that cruise. So I'm trying not to spend. Okay. With that said, it is the 4th. I do want to get going before these people in my neighborhood decide to start really shooting off fireworks, and my dogs go really, really crazy. So I'm hoping to be able to sit and like chill with them, or at least try to keep them chill. So, with that in mind, don't be like my neighbors and shooting off fireworks, because there are pets and people with PTSD that really don't need to live through that again. So, with that said, we'll see you in a month. I hope you all have a great time stitching. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching. And if you have anything that you want to say and or comment, please leave it down below, and I will try to make sure that I respond. So, with that said, bye everybody.